Hey everyone, welcome to the Meta Report, where we break down some of the LEC trends in just a couple of minutes. With the start of spring, we've seen a big shift in the bot lane champion pool since Worlds at the end of last year. So what has changed? The three most popular AD carries at Worlds all got nerfed, either directly or indirectly. Xayah and Kai'Sa were hit with nerfs to their spells, while Ezreal lost his main keystone in Kleptomancy. In addition to the nerfs, a champion rose to push them out of the meta as well, Misfortune. Her buffs on 9.18 made Make It Rain an absolute 1-point wonder, and with her passive Love Tap and Double Up, she can push opponents out of lane as these abilities give her a lot of damage on short, bursty trades. She has a strong laning phase and spikes early with items as she has good AD scalings on her spells. Aside from Misfortune, the two new additions in Aphelios and Senna brought extra range to Summoner's Rift, which hurts champions like Kai'Sa and Xayah even more, as they have lower attack range. Senna is essentially a combination of the best you can get from Ezreal and Caitlyn. Similar to Ezreal, she has good poke, a global ultimate and a strong mid-game because of her itemization. And similar to Caitlyn, Senna has a high range, a strong laning phase and scales well into the late game. Her Q applies on hit effects, making her an excellent Muramana and Duskblade user. Glacial Augment can be applied with either her auto attacks or Q, which facilitates landing her W. Her higher range makes her both safe and oppressive in lane. Lethality items give her high-powered auto attacks in the mid-game, and her E also allows her to reset Duskblade's passive. Then she moves in to crit items with Rapid Fire Cannon, being a common purchase to grant extra range for poking. At 2 crit items and with 60 miss stacks, she's close to hitting 100% crit chance, so she also scales pretty well. This puts her at the top of the totem pool for ADCs, and that's why she's so heavily prioritized. And then there's Aphelios. He does a bit of everything, but the gist of it is that weapon combos give him windows to overpower opponents, so his versatility is what makes him highly prioritized. Calibrum gives him a lot of extra range with both autos and his Q. Severum gives him sustain. Gravitum extra CC with slows and roots. Infernum more AoE damage. And Crescendum gives extremely fast attacks as well as sentries that can give him zoning. Knowing how to utilize the weapon combinations for different situations is key, and pros have quickly been mastering this skill. In Fnatic's match against Origin, Reckless calls for a Baron attempt. With a combination of Severum and Crescendum, he can do extremely high DPS to Baron and takes it down faster than his opponents could anticipate. Aside from 2 additions to the Rift, the other 2 most present ADCs are Varus and Xayah. Varus has good range to match champions like Senna and is usually paired with more defensive supports. Xayah still has a place in the meta, but she's somewhat dependent on being paired with Rakan to fully make use of her strengths. But the shifts in the champion pools haven't been only in the ADC role. Support has also changed quite a bit. The one champion that has risen in priority a lot in spring has been BRAUM, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's a great answer to some of the current meta champions. Unbreakable is an extremely powerful spell and very valuable in this meta. It can block Misfortune's ultimate from reaching his backline, or even Ornn's ultimate, who has been a staple in the top lane. Aside from that, his passive is also very strong with the 2 new champions. Senna can stack it from high range, and Aphelios can either do it from high range or get up close and personal with Crescendum to get a stun almost instantly. And then there's TAHM KENCH, who is seemingly impossible to get rid of from professional play, no matter how many nerfs he gets. In a meta where the popular AD carries have significantly less mobility than in Season 9, Devour is incredibly valuable. This is partly why BRAUM is also so powerful, as he has great tools to peel and protect his AD carries. Finally, there's LEONA, who's also risen in priority as an offensive support option. The support item changes for Season 10 mean that you no longer need to invest gold to upgrade them, as they upgrade with gold generation. This in turn allows supports to start building other items earlier, so currently a support's second item spike is coming earlier than before. For engaged supports like LEONA and Nautilus, this means getting a very early Gargoyle Stoneplate, which can make them extremely durable in skirmishes and team fights. Anyways, that's it for today. We hope you were able to understand why the bot lane meta has shifted so much since Worlds. Both new and old champions have come into the AD carry role, and with it, the priority on supports has changed as they look to either cover or expose the enemy laner's weaknesses: mobility.